guy that's recruited for a long time, can you put into words how much these kind of things help you with the extra classes down the road? Is it a major difference? Is it maybe not as much as you thought it would be when you first started doing satellite camp?
This specific travel camp you're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, I think so, because it gives you the opportunity to see more kids and get to more places. So yeah, I think it probably helps a little bit. I think at a place like Penn State, where camps have been so big for so long, it's probably not a whole lot different. I think you guys have heard me say this before. I think one of the challenges that we have is getting kids to campus, especially kids that aren't in driving distance. That's the challenge you have. So that's where these, I do think, helps Penn State. I think the overall numbers of players in the region is probably similar to the way it's always been.
Can you speak as to what it was like for Joe to reunite kind of with Andrew Brainer and his old staff, and kind of a cool moment for them, I think, to see the pupil is now the head coach over here? What was that like for them?
Yeah, it was cool. When this whole process started with kind of the evaluation of offense coordinators across the country and who I thought was the right fit and studying data and all that kind of stuff, Tyler Bowen was a big part of that. I mean, it's kind of weird. I called Tyler Bowen late in the process and said, kind of weird deal. I'm going to talk to you about your head coach, and I just need you to shoot me straight. Is he somebody that we should be looking at, and why? And it's hard, because if we hire him, that could put Tyler in a situation where he's out of work. Fortunately, things worked out. Me and Joe had talked about it from the beginning, that he was hopeful that somebody on his staff would get the job, and that a continuity would be able to stay. They got a good thing going, and it worked. So we've spent a lot of time with their staff. They've come and visited us, talking ball. We planned kind of early on that we would try to do something like this, camp up in either Central or Northern Jersey with them. But it's been good. It's been good. I think for both staffs.
Take a step from that. Can you talk about the impact that Joe has had on recruiting for you guys? Obviously, such a prominent position, offensive coordinator. What has that done for your offensive targets, and what does that do for you guys selling?
Yeah, I think at this point, not a whole lot. I think a lot of people are waiting to see, what happens. I think the spring game really helped. People got excited about the spring game. I think people see the numbers and all that kind of stuff, but there's still a part of people they want to see, what the offense is going to do this year on the field. So I think Joe's been very involved. The staff's been very involved. The guys are recruiting their tails off. We've been selective because we're not going to sign a class of 25, 26, 27 guys. So we've been a little bit more patient than probably years in the past, because we're probably going to sign 17, somewhere in that number. So, but yeah, I think where the impact will come is if be patient enough and do some good things on the field this year offensively, and that's going to open some eyes to some people.
Real quick, what's your road trip snack?
I am trying to, I played my senior year, I think I was 215, I'm about 230 now, so my goal is to try to get back to 215. Fitzy's looking good, he's lost a bunch of weight. I'm going to try to get back to somewhere around 215 by the first game, that's my goal. So I'm trying to drink more water, which I don't like flavor. To try to drink water, so I'm trying to be healthy. It's hard though, when you're on the road and there's food sitting there, I'm typically going to eat it. So a lot of chicken breasts and water right now.